I've never been attracted to a woman. When she first asked me, do you want to be more than friends? I was very scared of that because I'm like, there's no way I'm going to get hard for a woman.
Do you guys have sex? How are you? Good, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Matt.
Oh my gosh, I feel like I've been watching all your guys' videos.
Oh, you have?
Yes, of course.
Great.
So is the world.
Yes, I am gay, and yes, I also have a girlfriend. This is my partner, Samantha Greenstone, and we've been together for 6 years. We just celebrated our anniversary. On today's edition of Yes, I'm Gay, and Yes, I Have a Girlfriend.
Hi, I'm Samantha, and I'm marrying a gay man.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. You guys mind if I turn the camera on you? I like to film the meet and greets, you know? I already know you.
I know, we met through Will and James like years ago when they were doing that big sister.
Such a small world.
Yeah.
Congratulations, you both too.
Thank you.
How's it been going, the married life?
It's been amazing. We really are so happy to be married. All of a sudden, there's just this like, through the walls, and I'm like, what was that? Because I'm just like, whoever just made that noise has so many balls. And so they let the girls out, and somehow I just knew it was her. Like, it was just, she was like reeking of that cackle. And I'm like, if they don't give you that part, they're crazy. The first night we hang out, we are together till 4 a.m. and it's just like this instant magnetism, and we're living on this resort together. We hang out all night, and then I wake up and she's like, let's go on a hike, or, you know, it's just like constant, and we're just like, and every night when I leave, there's this feeling of like, why am I even leaving? Like, why, you know, it's just to go to sleep.
I feel like I can kind of understand, like, when I start a new friendship with a female and I feel like I'm hanging out with them, it kind of feels like I'm dating them because I'm getting to know them like you would on a date. Like, who's your family? What kind of things do you like? And it's an investment in your time and all of that. So I can kind of understand that. But when did it take a turn when you realized, like, wait, I actually have feelings for her?
Yeah. I mean, it just kind of, I mean, I feel like it immediately happened, and there was just a lot of like suppression. There was a lot of just like not knowing where to place it. And so it took us 18 months to start dating. Mm-hmm. So that entire time, I'm just kind of living in this like confusion about it.
And I'm very confused too, because I've had many a gay best friend in my life, and I never like felt for them the way that this felt. Like, this felt very different from any human interaction I'd ever had in my life. But I was confused because I knew he was queer.
So, sorry to interrupt. So you called him queer, which is beautiful, I think.
Yeah.
But do you call yourself gay, or do you call yourself queer?
I call myself gay because as I explain to people, my brain is that I'm only attracted to men. There's no attraction to women. I don't walk around in the world and see a woman, and I'm never going to be attracted to a woman in that way.
I remember when I read about the National Public Data Breach that leaked 2.9 billion records that were used for background checks. The leak included critical personal information such as full names, addresses, phone numbers, and my biggest fear, social security numbers. I remember that I panicked. I was like, am I part of the breach? Is my personal information out there for everyone to see? That is why I'm happy to be sponsored by Aura for today's video. Aura helps you protect your identity before scammers can do any damage. They monitor your social security number, your bank accounts, basically all the stuff that you don't want criminals to get their hands on. If they spot anything suspicious, they alert you so fast so that you can act. It's kind of a no-brainer to me. Aura gives you up to $1 million in identity theft insurance for every adult on your plan. So if something does happen, you're not just left high and dry. And I get all this protection in one easy-to-use app. Go to aura.com/MattCullen to try it for 2 weeks free and see if any of your info has been exposed. Protect yourself before it's too late. Trust me, we don't want to learn the hard way. Thank you, Aura, for sponsoring this video, and now back to the interview. In the interview, he talks about how when he sees a woman on the street, he's not attracted to them. Does that affect you at all emotionally?
makes me feel great, to be honest. I think I actually prefer it. I think I would just, if he was like, oh, that's a hot woman, I would probably be jealous. But I don't get jealous if he does it with a man. Like, I'm just like, great, I can see what you see in that man.
That's an interesting and very mature way of looking at it. It's almost like, because you fully know that he feels like you're beautiful, that doesn't affect you if he says, I don't find women beautiful.
No, not at all. In fact, I'm like, thank God I don't have to worry about women, which I think I'm sensitive to because of my past relationships. I think like the dirtbags I've been with, they've just been like, so, and women and friendships that I've had in my life. I've had friendships in my life where, like, I had this one friend in high school who like slept with my boyfriend in high school, and she was like my best friend for years. So I think that when it comes to just women in general, as much as I love the girlfriends that I do have, they're the most amazing women in the world, and I do think that women need to love and support one another. I think that I'm a little more guarded when it comes to like just women in general.
The partnership that we have is like in its own box. It's in its own world, and we are intimate, but it just has a connection as opposed to like, I call it like a lustful thing. Like, I don't look and see like her body parts or anything in that way.
For you, do you feel lust towards him though? Because like that would make me feel interesting to be in a relationship with someone who doesn't feel that lust towards me, but I feel that towards them.
I feel like when Jacob looks at me or when we're intimate, it's like the most beautiful, amazing connection. Like, I've never felt more beautiful in my life because it feels like he sees me for my soul, and at every second I do feel like he's like, wow, you're so beautiful, and he tells me I'm beautiful, but it's like in the most like weighted way and the most valuable way ever. So the lust is, I think right now, yes, I find him handsome and he can acknowledge I'm a beautiful woman, but it's beyond just like, oh wow, like I want to sleep with this handsome man. It's not that. It's just like, oh, this is like my person. Like I just like want to be as close to him as I can be.
Think of it like two 90-year-old people when all of the looks and all that stuff have faded away and the ephemeral things are gone, and it's just them as people. That's what it feels like.
I think finding your soulmate is the goal that everybody has in this world.
Yeah.
And so often people perceive that as like a sexual relationship.
Right.
And I'm gathering that you guys see it as a much deeper, beyond sexual relationship.
Yeah. It needs to be sexual. It does. I do think sexuality is critical.
Did you have any preconceived ideas about your homosexuality or about starting a family with a man that you felt closed off to, that you didn't like?
Yeah, it was a journey to come out. It was really difficult, and I didn't even fully come out to my family until years into Samantha and I's relationship. So I was kind of living this life of hiding it. I was really worried my dad and that side of the family wasn't going to accept it. Fortunately, when I told him, they were incredibly supportive and understanding. And I think one thing is that we've actually found that a lot of conservative people understand our relationship, and it almost bridges the gap between queer and straight couples and people, because they're able to understand and see this, what looks like heteronormative dynamic, and yet also understand, okay, like his brain is gay. And I think it just somehow, it's safe for them to look at our relationship and accept it, as opposed to accepting a queer
Is
couple.
it because they want you to suppress your sexuality? Is that what it is?
I don't know if it may, potentially there might be that underscore. I mean, there's a lot of people who think we're trying to do like conversion therapy or tell people like, you can find a woman, and that's the antithesis of what we're saying. We're saying that our dynamic is a 1 in a million thing where it just happens to be that we work together in this life so well.
What were your feelings about it when you fell in love with her? Were you like, oh, great, because I know you hadn't told your parents yet. Maybe you had a little bit of suppression of your homosexuality, and then you fell in love with a woman, and you could see how that could be a path that you would like. Did it feel like a little bit of a relief for you?
I don't know. I mean, it maybe in some ways, like in a social way, it felt like a relief. Like and I think that's where some of that anger and stuff came from. Is that it was a disguise that I could wear and stay kind of hidden under a blanket and not have people know I'm gay, because that was a fear. But I think that ultimately it caused more turmoil, because there was fear that this relationship wasn't going to work because of my sexuality, particularly very early on. And the first few years of our relationship were harder, trying to navigate talking about it, navigate the insecurities that came up. But over time, just the firmness of our relationship kind of leveled that.
I know how bold and just honest Jacob is in his values. And I know that to feel like you can't just fully be honest to your 1,000% extent does create in any human some sort of kind of like this claustrophobic feeling.
Yeah.
And I felt like that was what was causing frustration for him.
Yeah.
Because he had these beautiful relationships with his parents, but they were kind of built on this like lie.
Yeah.
To an extent.
It's also interesting that like you hadn't come out really that publicly until you married a woman, and now it's like part of your brand is I'm a gay man.
Right. And that's what's so liberating, and what we're trying to save people from is all of those years of psychosis. We've met people that are older, like we've met this man who is older and has been married to a woman for years, and he told us, well, I came out to my wife of 30 years, and he's been running behind her back with men their entire relationship, and it just like destroyed their marriage. And I'm just like, if he had been able to do this and say this 30 years ago, would it have saved them? Because now she's living in this world of, I can never trust this man. He's been living a 30-year lie.
Are you two in an open relationship?
No.
So you're monogamous.
Correct.
So do you guys have sex?
Yes. Wow. Yeah.
I don't think you've ever like said that, because you guys will hint like, oh, we're intimate, but you guys don't say like, we have sex.
I guess we were thinking intimate meant that people understood that was sex, but maybe that could sound like...
I took it as like a gay man saying like maybe has cuddled and like kissed a couple of times.
No, we have to make a video saying...
We have great...
Not before this one comes out.
Yeah.
let me have that moment. No, I'm just kidding.
No, we have great sex, and I look forward to it, and it's amazing. Yeah, it's just, like I say, it's not like that sort of thing. It literally feels like connecting, like two people just coming together. When she first asked me, do you want to be more than friends? I was very scared of that, because I'm like, there's no way I'm going to get hard for a woman.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine. I don't even want to see a vagina.
Right.
I know.
Exactly.
I understand.
It's disgusting.
I get it. They're scary.
Yes. But it's like, it was just like that. It just worked like that. And that's where it rocked my world.
Will you take me back to that first night that it happened? And like,
yes.
You must have been nervous. I'm sure you were nervous. Like, I want to hear both your perceptions.
She was in a show, and I drove down to San Diego to see it. And we were at our friend's house, and yeah, we just that night had sex for the first time, and it was just like, that was the first time we had kissed or anything, and it was just like full blown, like boom. And it was like instantaneously, I think a week or two later, she moved into my apartment, like once the show closed, and it was just like we were full blown.
But then wouldn't that make you, I know like we're not doing labels, but wouldn't that make you more bi? Because if you're enjoying sex with a woman, then that means that you enjoy women. Well,
I to be honest, I in my younger years and stuff had tried to be with women, and it never worked. It was very uncomfortable. It was very, very disgusting. It made me very uncomfortable. So I know from first of all, my mental place, that I've never been attracted to a woman. I've never once been out on the street and been like, that's a hot woman. And I've obviously tried to, in my younger years, force that, and it never worked. And so this was, it truly is an exclusive thing to our relationship. And what we're trying to convey to the world is that you can keep your gay identity and be a gay person. And it's healthier for me, and I feel so much more liberated and connected to being gay than being bisexual.
Do you ever think about being with men?
No. I'm still attracted to men, but I've never thought about, like, ever leaving our relationship or opening our relationship.
And he's been with men.
Right.
Before.
Yes.
Right, of course, yeah. You know, I know what it's like. I've had the experience many times. I just, it just wasn't my person. Those were never my people. This is my person. When we see handsome men in the world, we acknowledge it and talk about it.
Yeah.
And it's healthy.
Very
and we
different
have,
taste.
Yeah, very different.
Really?
Taste. Yes.
What is your taste in, well, obviously, him?
Well, yes, I like a clean cut, how would you describe my taste?
It's like a Bridgerton type man, I feel like.
Yeah,
and I like
really.
a dirty, scrappy, artsy.
Borderline homeless.
Yeah.
What is your favorite thing about your marriage?
Our honesty and
Yeah.
our just
Like
friendship.
we won't, we won't even tell each other a little white lie, and we'll even notice, like in some of our friendships, like our friends will be like, "I'm just not going to tell them that," or "Oh, I bought this, but I'm not going to tell them that." And like, I cannot imagine not telling Jacob absolutely everything.
Yeah.
It's like so amazing to have someone to be able to share every single detail of your life with and know that it will be received safely. I think the safety in our honesty is so refreshing, because I don't know a single other person in my life who I can be that 1000% completely honest with.
Yeah.
I really loved meeting Samantha and Jacob and sitting down with them in their place to talk to them. And to be honest, on my way there, I was curious to see what I would think when I met them and what I felt about the relationship, because hearing their story, on paper, a gay man marries a woman and they claim to be happy, and it made me feel like maybe he had a lot of repressed issues, or there was homophobia involved or something. And after meeting them and spending time with them, it was just so clear to me that they have this unspeakable bond. And when I think about soulmates and I think about what we're all looking for in partners, I think we're all looking for very different things, but I do think the commonality is that we're all looking for our best friend, and someone that will be with us through thick and thin, and someone that we want to spend all of our day and all of our time with, and someone who will stand beside us and fight with us and fight for us. And that's what I see in Samantha and Jacob. I see that they are just true companions in this life, and life is so hard and so many challenges and so many ups and downs, and it's a true roller coaster ride. And to have a partner in this to help you and to help you navigate, and to sometimes just stand beside you and hug you and tell you that they're there for you, like, that just feels so important, and I'm so happy that they found each other. I hope you are all having a great day. I just got back from Fort Lauderdale 2 days ago. I was there for 3 weeks filming my show for Out TV, which I think went so well. Now we're in the post-production process, which is another beast in itself, because I have to look at every single scene and every single take I shot and figure out what I like and what I don't like and what I want to keep and what I don't want to keep. So it's been a really amazing experience, and I can't wait for you guys to watch it. But I am back on my grind with YouTube, just really excited to find some good new interviews for you and get the Queer Case files going again and just get my rhythm back on this channel. So I hope that you all are doing so good, and thank you for continuing to watch my channel. It means the world to me. I met so many of you actually in Fort Lauderdale. It's so funny. Whenever I go to a heavily gay populated area, I get to meet so many of my subscribers and so many people that are watching, and words cannot express what that means to me. I think I've mentioned this before, but YouTube can be a lonely job sometimes. So many hours just by yourself sitting and editing and uploading and making thumbnails, and it can be a very isolating job. And you see that it gets views, but you don't really understand what those views mean. And then when you're, you meet somebody that watches your channel and hear their words about what it means, and it really, truly inspires me so much. So if you came up to me in Florida and said hi, just know that like you truly, truly made my day. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon with another video. Okay, bye-bye.